Most new firms stay small, and it's not always because they lack talent. Growth needs trust from clients and other stakeholders, not just talent. In services where quality is hard to judge upfront, like ad agencies, consulting, design, and law, clients can't fully verify quality before they buy. So even if your work is excellent, you hear, come back when you're established. So what do you do? How do you look credible before you're credible? Can you buy credibility without money? Hi, I'm Sumit Malik, a researcher at the University of Amsterdam, and welcome to The Devil Wears Data, where I break down interesting research for you. A lot of useful research is basically inaccessible because scientists usually write papers for other scientists. But if you're curious, you're at the right place. A researcher at Harvard University looked at new advertising agencies in New York and Chicago. She tracked their growth in revenue and headcount for years. Her goal was to see how looking legitimate affects growth. The advertising industry was a good test case for this. It's competitive, lots of new agencies pop up, and it's hard to know who will deliver value. The study follows these agencies year by year and watches what happens as they send signals of credibility. What she found was that three signals mattered. Number one, using the industry's normal structure. I'll explain what that means. Showing up for industry's public rituals and landing high-status clients. Let's break these down. First, structure. Agencies that used standard job titles like creative director instead of chief idea officer grew revenue faster. Second, rituals. Participating in awards like submitting work to Cannes also predicted faster growth. And here is the interesting thing. Clients often don't hire an agency because it's creative. They hire them because they want results. So awards aren't just about artistry. They are a public signal that says we belong here. And third, high status clients. Each additional high status client was linked to almost 7% higher revenue. And the status effect shows up even when those clients have a lot of power, meaning that if they can push you around, their logo still helps you. The overall message was clear. These social resources weren't just fluff, they helped the real bottom line. The reason for this? The researcher argues that when quality is fuzzy, perception matters. Uncertainty makes people cautious. They reward firms that look normal. So those young firms that mimic the structure and ceremonies, such as job titles and sending entries to Cannes, are rewarded. The important point is that titles or ceremonies don't necessarily make you better at the work. They make other people more willing to bet on you. This is also different from simple networking or who you know. It's not just social capital. It's legitimacy, looking like a real firm in that world. Finally, a prestigious client becomes a strong signal because observers assume that the high status client must have vetted the agency. In other words, high status clients function as endorsements. People think if they chose this agency, they must be good. So, if you're a young entrepreneur, what can you do? The research suggests three practical moves. One, use industry standard signals, but don't overdo it. There is a difference between mimicking what outsiders need to see and adding bureaucratic complexity that can slow your growth. Number two, pick one respected ritual and show up consistently. Don't try to do everything. Choose the ritual your industry actually recognizes. Number three, chase one high status client for its signaling value, even if that client throws their weight. It might be annoying in the short run, but valuable in the long run because others are watching. One important thing to note here is that this works best in industries where output is hard to evaluate early, like services and creative work. It's less likely to work in capital-intensive businesses where buyers can verify quality. If your world is heavy machinery or logistic networks, signals won't replace the need for real material resources. The big lesson here is how markets make decisions under uncertainty. When people can't really measure quality, they lean on legitimacy and status to cut their risk. If you're interested in how other shortcuts like stereotyping also reduce risk, check out the linked video below. That's it for this research. Please like, share, and comment if you're curious about other phenomena. I add videos every week about interesting research that you can use and understand. See you next time in the Devil Wears Data.